Nate just bought a microphone.
There you go.
Do you want to come back here? Nate? Okay. Scott? Thank you for being here. My name's Mark LaBarbera. I'm with the Outdoor Heritage Education Center and one of the co-chairs of Hunting Works for Wisconsin, which is launching here today for the state of Wisconsin. And we chose Mills Fleet Farm because what a great partner they are. And actually one of the leading sellers, the leading seller of hunting and fishing licenses in the state of Wisconsin. Here to greet us and provide official invitation or welcome is Scott Paul, the manager of this Fleet Farm store.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for coming. And Mills Fleet Farm is certainly proud to be part of and partnering with Hunting Works. Extremely proud to have been chosen to kick off the entire program with Mills Fleet Farm here. Again, I appreciate everybody coming in and understand there's going to be plenty of people explaining what Hunting Works is all about so everybody has a good understanding. And again, the economic impact that it has for businesses such as ours and many areas of businesses, not only the retail market area. So I am going to turn it back over. Thank you.
All of us are excited to be a part of this because it's a new program that helps the public and our fellow Wisconsinites understand the importance of hunting and the shooting sports to the state's economy. Our next speaker is Scott Gunderson, Executive Assistant at the Wisconsin DNR.
Well, thanks, Mark. And hey, thanks to all of you for coming here today. On behalf of Secretary Kathy Stepp, I do want to welcome you all here. I'm Scott Gunderson, the Assistant Deputy Secretary of the Wisconsin DNR. And I mean, what a great place to start Hunting Works in Wisconsin, but here in the Sporting Goods Department of Fleet Farm. It's awesome. So why is hunting important to this state and really to this country? Well, number one, in Wisconsin, it's a hunting heritage. It's tradition. There's so many families that get together and spend time together and get out and have a good time enjoying the outdoors by hunting. I think sometimes we forget about that. I mean, we have over 2 million licensed folks here in Wisconsin when it comes to hunting and angling. And we have so many great things going on here in Wisconsin. I mean, the hunting opportunities are just tremendous. But, you know, how do we fund those things that happen in our shooting and hunting activities here in Wisconsin? And quite frankly, it's through license sales. It's through those people who engage in the activity, buy that license, and that's the funds that go back into our programs. Now, we do have another source of funding here in Wisconsin, and that's called Pittman-Robertson. And that's a excise tax, 11%, that comes back to the states. And here in Wisconsin, just for this year, for 2014, we'll see $19.4 million coming back to Wisconsin. And that'll come back for research, work on wildlife areas, and also for expansion and working on shooting ranges here in Wisconsin. You know, we are, like I said, we are so fortunate to have what we have here in Wisconsin. And, you know, I think a lot of us probably take it for granted a little bit. But, you know, there's nothing like taking out a young person or someone who's never hunted before to experience hunting. And we have some great programs here in Wisconsin. We have a Learn to Hunt program that allows someone who's never participated in hunting for a specific species to go out and experience the hunt with a mentor. And it's just a great way to get people out. And we do that really for all species. Turkey is our #1 Learn to Hunt experience, but we're doing it with waterfowl, deer, small game, pheasants. And I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like it. Secretary Stepp And I know some of you here know this, but she experienced deer hunting for the first time 3 years ago, and I've been lucky enough to be her mentor. And her first year out in the Barneveld area in southern Wisconsin, she was able to harvest a small doe. And then 2 years ago, I was able to take her, again, mentoring her. I'm not hunting, she is, up to the Alma area, and she harvested her first buck, a 7-pointer. And then this past year, again, she harvested an adult doe. And I'm going to tell you, there is nothing like being with somebody when they're out there for the first time and they harvest an animal. I'm going to tell you, Secretary Stepp was through the roof. I mean, we were in this bale blind, and if you would have seen that smile, kind of like that lady's right there. Huge smile, just jumping up, high-fiving, and you know what? That's what it's about. And you know, Kathy will be a hunter for the rest of her life. And that's, and that's awesome. But we need to make sure, and these are the things that we're working on right now in Wisconsin, making sure that people that want to go out and experience the outdoors can do that. And we know right now that it's not just youth. It's people in that 25 to 45 years old who've never had the opportunity to go hunt, but they want to do it. And now we know those folks, they have a job, they have a car, that they can get out there. So we're working real hard right now to put together a program that will put mentors and people who want to go out and hunt together. And we're working on that program right now, and once we get that put together, I think it'll be just totally awesome. So again, hunting works. Hunting does work in Wisconsin. It's a great thing, and on behalf of Kathy, Secretary Kathy Stepp, I want to thank all the partners here in Hunting Work, because let's face it, we need to have partners to make things work. So thank you very much.
Another person who recently harvested her first deer is Tina Brunel, Executive Director of the Mercer Area Chamber of Commerce.
Hello. As Mark said, that my name is Tina Brunel, and I'm the Executive Director of the Mercer Area Chamber of Commerce, and also a very proud co-chair of Hunting Works for Wisconsin. I've always been active in fishing and other outdoor recreation, but never really got into the hunting aspect, mainly because I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't harvest anything you're not willing to clean or take care of yourself. However, I was fortunate to meet a very good friend that was willing to teach me step by step and take me out in the woods, and I have to say that I also made him agree that if I didn't make it through the field dressing and I ended up passing out, he was not going to leave me out there in the woods. But needless to say, again, like Mark said, this past fall was my very first time hunting, and I did shoot my deer on opening day, and I made it through the field dressing and all of that, and now I'm looking forward into diving into some other aspects of hunting, like grouse hunting and possibly even turkey hunting as well. But that's not the only reason that I'm really excited to be here and be a co-chair of this new partnership. Besides the fact that hunters and shooters provide millions of dollars to wildlife conservation efforts, they also spend $2.6 billion on this sport. And that results in about a $4 billion ripple effect into the state of Wisconsin's economy. So anyone that's in the tourism industry knows how exciting those numbers really are. And on top of that, the average hunter spends about $2,800 a year in the state, and that's not just on their hunting equipment, that's on their gas, their food, their lodging, and even their guides. And as well as that, they also support about 34,000 jobs in the state of Wisconsin, and those, a lot of them are held right at our local businesses within our communities. So those are some really huge numbers, and the impressive impact that hunters have on our state and local economy is very broad, but it's also very considerably underappreciated as well. So I'm really excited to be part of this new initiative to help spread that message and promote this industry. And I'm also very honored to be at the forefront of this, and I look forward to helping both our hunters and shooters gain the recognition that they deserve as very strong drivers to our local economies, and hope that all of you will help with that message as well.
More than 70 different businesses have already signed up to be a part of Hunting Works for Wisconsin, even before today's official launch. Among those, we have the Chambers of Commerce, we have different businesses, we have sporting and conservation organizations. We also have industry associations. One of those is the Wisconsin Petroleum Marketers and Convenience Store Association, and with us is Vice President Doug Parrott.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. The Wisconsin Petroleum Marketers and Convenience Store Association represents roughly 2,000 gas stations and convenience stores across Wisconsin. And it just seemed like a natural fit for us to be a part of Hunting Works for Wisconsin. And we're proud to be one of the founding partners of what we believe will be a hugely successful campaign moving forward. Tina mentioned hunting in Wisconsin is a $1 billion industry, and that's not lost on our members, small retailers, who depend on the dollars spent at their stores and stations every fall as hunters, whether they're heading out to their duck blinds and they're stopping by to fill up their boat before they head out, or whether they're making the trek north and they're stopping off to buy supplies for the opening weekend of the deer season. It's a very important industry to our members. We're proud to be members of the Tourism Federation of Wisconsin, and anything that we can do to increase tourism spending in Wisconsin is important to us, and this just seems like a natural fit. Tina mentioned $2.8 billion spent by hunters in Wisconsin. Roughly $358 million of that is spent on travel-related expenses. A lot of those dollars spent directly in our members' stores. So again, a great program. We're very excited to be a part of that, and we're looking forward to many of our members signing on as partners as the word gets out. And we thank everybody for being here this morning.
Another association that recognizes how hunting works in Wisconsin is the Wisconsin Grocers Association. And today its president and CEO, Brandon Scholes, is with us. Please welcome Brandon.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks all of you for coming today, and thanks for hosting us. This is terrific. There are two really, I think, important traditions in Wisconsin. One, obviously, is hunting. The other is grocery shopping. And we are very pleased to be part of Hunting Works for Wisconsin because of that. We want to continue to foster the relationships between the grocery store's customers as hunters and as shoppers. But when you get to opening weekend, as well as the other seasons throughout the world, or throughout the year, you get these 895,000 hunters that come out that spend about $2,800 a year. Obviously, we'd like to see a lot of that come into the grocery stores. You'll find grocers welcoming hunters, obviously in the seasons, but throughout the year. It's important to them. They like to make sure that they have what is available for them to make their hunting experience great. But I think the other thing is that we want to support not only hunting in Wisconsin, but some of the things that impact hunting in Wisconsin. We want to make sure that it's a great experience for hunters to go out into the field and up to deer camp, just like they have hopefully an uneventful experience at the grocery store. So making sure that policies in this state cater to that and welcome and grow hunting is important for all the seasons. So from the grocer side, you'll see the banners in the store, welcome hunters, hunters welcome. And we obviously want them to come in and spend much more than they would normally. But it's a great part of our business. Grocers welcome hunters and sportsmen and women all throughout the year. So thank you. Thanks for bringing Hunting Works for Wisconsin here, and we're looking forward to growing it. Thanks.
That concludes the presentation. We're open to any questions before people start their shopping spree at Mills Fleet Farm. And we also want to thank the Green Bay area. We appreciate you guys welcoming us.
That 2.8 billion, is that strictly hunting, or is that hunting and fishing combined?
Hunting.
What's the target audience here for your group? Who are you really trying to reach out to?
The key, I think, is that we share with the public, with people who in their communities know from time to time that they're seeing hunters, they're seeing sportsmen come through, but they may not realize the economic impact. So we're just putting a spotlight on the economic impact of hunting in Wisconsin for the general public. Well, we think that it's important to let people know firsthand and what's happening in their communities. So we're embarking on an outreach effort that will take us from TV, social media, right down to Rotary clubs or local gatherings of folks who are interested in learning more about sporting opportunities and what hunters do for their economy, not just throughout Wisconsin, but specifically in their communities. Any other questions?
The gentleman from the Grocers Association talked about the importance of having policies that support and cater to hunters. Specific policies that you all plan to propose or support and promote?
I think, following the lead of the DNR, which works extremely hard to make Wisconsin a great venue to hunt, to fish, and to do sports, we want to work with them. We want to make sure that people in the legislature, should issues come up, understand the importance of hunting, not just as a sport, but what it does for Wisconsin's economy. You've heard all the numbers about how much money comes into the economy, how many jobs get created, whether they're around season or out. We want to make sure that story is told so that it's not just a hunting story, it's an economic story, and it's something that's good for Wisconsin. On opening day, when we have, 600,000 or 700,000 people in the field, that's a pretty impressive thing. So it's a broader story that we want to be able to share.
Is there a specific policy or statement?
There is not. There's not a specific policy or initiative that this campaign is behind when it comes to current legislation or proposed legislation. But so you could look at historically the efforts that Wisconsin has led to remove barriers to participation. As a great example, UW Stevens Point, Dr. Christine Thomas, who's on the Wisconsin Natural Resources Board now, who is the Dean of the College of Natural Resources, began studies on becoming an outdoorswoman and barriers to women's participation in the outdoors years ago. That led to changes and programs and other things that now are resulting in more licensed sales to women, to girls, to people who otherwise were not invited into hunting camps. And because of the DNR's action and embracing of programs like that, the Becoming an Outdoorswoman program, because of the things it's doing with its resources to help more people get outdoors, recruiting, reaching out, all those things are making a difference. On the legislative side, anything that would be a barrier or inhibit that kind of participation would make it more difficult to participate. You might find that all of our partners would rally against that.
Are there existing barriers that still need to come down?
Do you want to answer that one, Gundy?
Well, the biggest thing I think right now that we're looking at DNR is, how do we grow our numbers of hunters? I mean, how do we do that? And I think you've heard today, Tina's a great example. Last year, she went and experienced hunting, was able to harvest a deer, and now is hooked for life. We want to make sure that people have that opportunity. And we do know in Wisconsin, and I think this is pretty telling, when we passed the constitutional amendment on the right to hunt, fish, and trap, that passed at the time with 82% of the voters supporting that amendment. So Wisconsin, as I said earlier, has a strong tradition when it comes to hunting and fishing and trapping. But we want to make sure that we can make it as simple as possible. And one of the things that the governor actually charged the Conservation Congress with was to make regulations easier. That's one of the things I think everybody subscribes to, is make it easier for folks to be able to go out and enjoy the outdoors and not have a lot of barriers. And so we're working on that. There's things happening with councils within DNR, and I think right now some legislators I think are looking at those very things that you're asking about. What are those things? And I think right now there's folks taking a hard look at what those things are, and what may come out here, who knows, in the next session. But you know what? We know that right now people love to eat healthy foods, right? And what's more healthy than venison? It is one of the most healthiest things that you can consume. So we've started a program within the DNR. Keith Warnke, who runs our shooting sports and hunter retention program, where he's teaching a class now at the UW to bring new hunters in, people who have never hunted, people in their 20s, 30s, never hunted, but they want to be able to consume that. So, that's, that sustainability, I think, is another good thing when it comes to hunting in the future.
We have time, one more question? Anybody?
This will be a statewide effort?
Yes, statewide. Hunting Works for Wisconsin is a statewide effort. Thank you all for coming.
Everyone stay up here. Nate's like, stay up there. Somebody has to present it. Yeah, that's good.
Let's get a green coat and bring it to this.
Yeah, right.
Come on, right in front of
Of course,
us.
at least Mark wore camel.
I want to stand by the grill. Come on in.
Yeah.
I have a shot that's there.
Yeah, mix it up, right? See, she did have a big
Roy Rich, on behalf of the Green Bay Area Chamber, I want to welcome you as a member and part of the Chamber family, and we are honored to be a partner in any way that we can help and support your initiative throughout the state.
Great, thank you. We really appreciate your hospitality. On behalf of all of the co-chairs and all of the partners, we thank you.